Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and we're a little bit later today because, yeah, the patch notes have dropped for the latest balance patch note teaser. This is going live later today, and it is just a baffling one. I don't think anybody's really going to be thrilled. There's a lot of people wanting big changes. A lot of people want like quests buffed or a lot of stuff nerfed. We're getting none of that. We're getting absolutely none of that. We are getting a lot of just kind of whatever buffs to the mini set cards. Literally, that's it. And I just don't know what's going on. I really don't. We have some dev comments. We have no twist update, no arena update, almost nothing. It's just, I don't know what's going on with Hearthstone right now. I'm very curious to see what you guys will have to say about all this. But yeah, we'll dive into all that. Again, this patch will be going live later today. If you enjoy the content on the channel, feel like I've earned your subscription, please hit that sub button down below. Give the video a like as it helps the channel out a lot. And honestly, we really need the help right now. Things are not great. So let's take a look at this balance patch that will be going live later today. I've said that like 3 times already. I'm coping. Patch 33.4.2 launches today, and we have a dev comment here of we'd like to share an update on the current state of Hearthstone and what to expect from this patch. The data shows a relatively balanced meta with no dominant power outliers or play patterns demanding nerfs. At the same time, the Day of Rebirth Mini Set didn't land as we hoped. Just like the last expansion, the Lost Goro, just like the mini set for Into the Emerald Dream, just like Into the Emerald Dream. This is a pattern, right? This patch focuses on targeted buffs to help a few of those cards better realize their potential. They're all so bad. Like, every mini set card sucks or doesn't have a home. We've talked about that. Regardless, some of these changes support quest decks while also opening up new options across other archetypes. More details below. That's right, we're not even buffing like the Deathlight quest. That the reward is unplayable. It's garbage. We're not buffing that. Anyways, we understand that many of you were hoping for bigger changes. We've seen a lot of feedback about the strong neutral package of Fyrakk, Elise, Naralax, and Ysera, and we'll be keeping a close eye on them moving forward. We've also continued to hear suggestions to buff nearly every new quest so they become competitive archetypes. However, as we've shared before, too many competitive quests in the long term can lead to a metagame that isn't fun or healthy. We have one very competitive quest, the Warlock one. We have one that pisses people off in Paladin. The rest aren't competitive. Mage is like kind of close, right? Why make the quests? Why make them if you don't want them to be good? I did not want quests personally. I was kind of dreading it, but I'd rather they be playable than just not useful at all. Why make them? It's, again, I can't understand that. I don't get why you make cards that you don't want to be competitive as your main focus of an expansion. I get like the off thing, but when your focus is on quests and the whole kindred mechanic, neither have done much. It's just very confusing. More broadly, we believe future expansions are a better place to bring community feedback to life than trying to overhaul the current set through balance patches. We felt short of our goal of introducing enough new competitive options this expansion. As we look ahead to the next expansion and beyond, we're keeping your response to the set in mind and are using it to help to shape the future of Hearthstone. So does that mean we're back to making batshit crazy cards next expansion? Maybe, but this has not worked, right? Like, if this has been a part of a broad power reset, it's just upset people and we're bored. We're just bored. We're left doing nothing. And they refuse to nerf the top stuff like significantly without nudges, right? We keep talking about like, yeah, if you nerf the top decks, it doesn't make a big difference because the next one takes over. You have to like go nuclear, which they don't want to do. They will not do. We're not seeing a single nerf in this patch, right? Not one, which is almost a first. I don't know if we've ever had a balance patch of just buffs. Probably has happened before, but it's super rare. Anyways, let's look at the changes that will definitely shape the meta, right? Kelos, well, the 10 mana 2020 now will get taunt. You still have to crack the egg 5 times, but your minion will have taunt. They can't ignore it, I guess. So that could change things. We got a dev comment of we've seen a lot of experimentation with Kelos, often in combination with dissolving ooze. We want to preserve that synergy while also giving Kelos a stronger standalone presence by adding taunt. I mean, they'll make it better, but like it's still bad. I don't see it. Rogue, as one of the top classes, of course, will get multiple buffs because it's Rogue. The first one being Mirex, the Crystalline, will now be a 3/4. Like the card is fine. It's not great, but like the stats didn't really matter that much. It's like, what card am I going to copy? Like, yeah, I guess I could tempo this a bit better, but you still don't want to do it. So again, it's buffing a Rogue card because it's Rogue. We have to buff every legendary that's not playable. Like literally look it up. Every single Rogue legendary basically that's not competitive right away gets buffed. No other class gets that treatment. It's crazy. But yeah, maybe you slot this in a bit more often, maybe, because you could tempo it out as a 3/4, so that makes it a little bit better. It definitely makes the card better. I don't know if it's worth playing, but it's one of the more, I guess, promising buffs for, of course, Rogue, as always. Possessed Animancer, the whole Beast Warlock package, they're buffing this to 5 mana. With a dev comment of, we've seen players tapping into the potential of Possessed Animancer, and we're making it more efficient to use. Alongside that, we're also improving one of its favorite partners, Asphyxiodon. We wouldn't be Gigasaur if you, oh my god, if you tried using it on another beast. Obviously, the Ultra Gigasaur, right? Which you can cheat out and get lifesteal. This might be relevant because it's like a barn style card, right? If it's soon enough and like cheat something out, that's pretty busted, right? So maybe, and they're buffing, we'll see another card with it that maybe it works. But Warlock right now on 5 wants to play Ancient of Yore in Arcanite Defense Crystal, both of which I think should be changed. They've had their time by far. Is that really going to compete, right? Is this going to compete with that? Probably not. It's probably going to be still like Quest Warlock and Starship Warlock, but this has a better chance. This is one of the more risky buffs they're taking, and Asphyxiodon gets 2 health, like, I guess. The only reason you'd still ever play this card is to cheat out with this. You're never ever paying 8 mana for this. Like, it still doesn't go face with the effect. It's just, yeah, 2 more health. So will this be enough? This is like a 35% win rate deck right now. Will the 1 mana make it 50%? Probably not, but it's one of the better buffs we're getting, which is not a great side. Anyways, Ritual of Life now gives you a 2/3 instead of a 2/2. That's a buff I suggested or talked about in a video. That's fine. The card's good. The card's never been that bad. It's just, there's no deck for it really right now. You don't want to shuffle stuff with like Raza. The quest needs more support than it's just this. You need to like copy your win condition. This just doesn't do that. So it's way better in Arena, which was already good. This card was great in Arena. On ladder, it'll be good eventually when the support arrives, which is a problem for a lot of the mini set cards, but it's better, right? I guess so. Ankylodon gets a significant buff. This was the 8 mana 7/7 thing, as you could see for Hunter. It's going to be a lot cheaper. Dev comment of upgrading Ankylodon gives Hunter a powerful discover option through effects like they're literally making it to be discovered with detailed notes, not so much play it, right? While also making it a solid beast for Quest Hunter and other Hunter decks. It's still too slow, probably for Quest Hunter, but 2 mana buff, right? How do they land on 8 mana for this card? It makes you think like nothing else changes, it loses some health, but way better, and will probably be an Arena Tyrant. Hunter's already pretty good there, so I guess we are getting an Arena update in a way with some of these cards. But overall on ladder, it's still probably not going to happen, right? It's very unlikely. But again, it's significantly better. That's 2 mana despite losing 2 health, but still, there you go. Long Neck Egg gets another pretty big buff, but probably won't be that great. It will now give you a 3/3 beast instead of a 1/2. So it's like a Nerubian Egg, right? You'll get a 4/4 basically out of the deal. The egg, I guess if it gets sapped, is now 3 mana, and it buffs the rest of your board. The problem again, Token Druid, the Quest Druid, really wants to go wide. This doesn't accomplish that, therefore it's very unlikely to help the quest, but it could just be a busted card on its own now, and maybe that's enough to make Token Druid playable with likely not the quest, right? But we'll see. Again, one of the bigger buffs they're giving, Costume Merchant. Again, Shadow Step exists, so this can't go to 2 mana, therefore it's a 2/4 and still useless, right? Like, you're still never playing this. You still don't get the mask you want most of the time. A lot of them won't do a lot for you. And it's not 0 mana with Shadow Step. You can keep saying, why don't we get good 2-drops as Rogue, and pretending it's not because of Shadow Step when it's clearly because of it. Because every other card's getting pretty big buffs, right? 2 mana cheaper. And we're not doing that here. So would this even be busted with Shadow Step, by the way? I don't think so. But they really don't like doing that stuff because Shadow Step, 0 mana cards, very spooky, and they don't mess with that very often. The last time was like that Harbinger card, and it got nerfed in the first patch possible. It could get nerfed because that was a disaster, because yes, Shadow Step 0 mana. If Shadow Step wasn't around, that card would be fine, especially like Web of Deception. Anyways, that's my obligatory Shadow Step rant of this video. Tor Totem for Shaman goes from a 2 mana 0/4 to a 1 mana 0/3. With dev comment, we found that players already complete the Shaman quest fairly quickly, so it's not super helpful, but we still wanted to give Tor Totem a small boost. Lowering its costs helps it contribute to quest completion while also enabling earlier minion generation fuel to the payoff once the quest is complete, I guess. But again, like they said, completing the quest isn't the issue. It's just the reward's not really that great. You really want to shutter block it, but that's too slow, and it just doesn't beat infinite armor and all these other strategies, and that's the problem. All these buffs, I mean, they're nice, they're fine, but how, without nerfing Starship stuff, without nerfing Fire Axe stuff, without nerfing the stuff that's dominating, how are we making cards that we had our video on, like the best and worst, or the worst performing cards? They're like 30% drawn win rate style cards. It's just not gonna happen. I will be shocked. We're going to see how the meta goes, but I don't understand what they're doing. Like, they're not even buffing a quest. These are only mini set cards, and I mean, a couple of them are bigger buffs, but most are nudges to terrible cards that mostly don't have decks. I just don't get it. And I was a part of the balance talks, and I will say, when they outlined this patch for us, I can't say what was said by anybody. I'll just say what I said. I didn't suggest a nerf or a buff because I'm just lost. I asked for explain yourselves. What are we doing? I don't understand anymore. That was literally it. And a lot of other people kind of echo that sentiment because we just don't get it. Like, we just don't understand what they're trying to do. They release quests they don't want to be playable. Why make them? They buff them, but only the Warlock one really hard. They just abandon it. Like, this feels like we're just waving a white flag, right? White towel or whatever, and we're just waiting for either the next set or rotation, right? They've given up again on the set really doing anything. Like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe these mini set changes will do something, but I doubt it. It's just baffling. And to nerf nothing, especially the armor gain in the game, like, I just don't understand. There's battleground changes if you want to take a look. These notes will be linked down below. And yeah, nothing about Twist, of course. Nothing about the arena. Nothing at all. That's it. Literally, that's it for like constructed. Fixed a bug for arena where we can now draft Anachronos, Frostmourne, and Barak Kodobane because they didn't have buckets before, which they should have been there from day one. That's it. That's all we're getting. So balance patch live later today. I understand if you're frustrated. I understand if you're confused. I understand if you're not excited to log in, try these terrible cards that are slightly buffed and lose to the same decks we have been seeing for over half a year. I get it. I'm in the same boat as you. I would like to play some new stuff, but that's the route they're going. And there's really not really any way to push them any further. I don't know what else to say. I have tried. A lot of us have tried. We'll see, I guess, how it plays out. We'll have our patch review tomorrow. We'll see how things play out. We'll have our deck recommendations the day after that. Hopefully, there'll be something, anything new to recommend. and then we'll go from there, because yeah, we are waiting probably the next expansion announcement within like 2 weeks, and we'll be talking about that stuff. And like they said, they're taking our feedback for the future of their design of Hearthstone. Does that mean they'll start making like playable cards? Will that mean they'll start nerfing stuff that has been dominating for a year? I don't know. I just don't know anymore. All I do know is we'll probably get a new pet before any of that's resolved, and it'll cost $160. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.